Yesterday, we recapped some of the best and worst looks, mostly worst looks, from the Met Gala 2025. And one of them that we went over was Pamela Anderson. And we didn't say very kind things about her styling choices. I thought that there were mistakes made. But it took me by surprise to see that she is getting roundly dragged by the media and commenters on social media alike for looking frumpy and old. And this is specifically from the Daily Mail. This headline sent me. Frumpy Pamela Anderson looks worlds away from Baywatch glory days in gray 2025 Met Gala gown.
Who the hell wrote this article? Did she reject them for did he swipe right and
Someone at Daily Mail has personal beef with Pam Anderson.
This feels personal to me.
Really, though. And they are known for having a lot of tabloidy headlines. I like Daily Mail, but they take it too far sometimes. And I read into the article, there was nothing but complimentary statements after the headline. So it was really just clickbait.
What the hell is conservative about that haircut? It refers to it as a conservative new hairdo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do conservative loves, what was your term? F-ass Bob?
It was the definition of a fuck-ass Bob.
Okay.
But Daily Mail even decided to delete their original tweet with the headline since they were getting so much pushback for it. But here was some of the tweets in response. Here was from Ryan James Gerdusky. Not to sound like a feminist, but famous women have to be allowed to age. She looks good for a woman of 57 and way better than if she was a puffy, Botox-injected Frankenstein creature. It is funny how you seemingly can't win. If you look like Madonna, obviously everyone is going to trash you because you look like a monster. But then if you decide to take the natural route, it seems like you will get trashed anyway. Another one said, she's stunning at 57 years old. Can we stop expecting women to look 23 their entire lives? Is anyone angry that George Clooney let his hair go gray or that Matt Damon no longer has a six-pack? Only women are expected to stay looking 25 while approaching 60.
Those pictures of George Clooney with the dyed hair that he dyed for a movie role were haunting.
Oh, they were terrible.
They were haunting.
He looked awful.
I saw that and I was like, I'm just going to
So it's the other way around. He actually got trashed for dyeing his hair.
I'm just letting it go gray.
Another one said, welcome back, early naughties body dysmorphia headlines. Sort of calling back to the days when an actress would put on a few pounds and they would call her a beached whale.
Yeah.
In the tabloid covers.
Unfortunately, not everybody can be Jennifer Beals and look like this at 60.
It's not a...
let me see if we can...
She's getting cropped out on screen.
Not everybody can look like Jennifer Beals at 60.
She's 60 years old.
Yeah.
In that photo?
Yeah.
That is wild. Yeah. But some people are just gifted genetically. And you know what?
I bet you it's about stress. It's like get really good at your craft. And it's like, okay, I'm getting regular roles. I'm working. I'm not overstressing. I'm staying out of the sun.
There was a lot of that too. But I think most of it comes down to genetics and choosing not to go through invasive cosmetic procedures that will have consequences down the line. Mm-hmm. Another one said, Pamela Anderson chose to not wear makeup anymore, wanting to look like her true self and having to face such stupid comments. Show some respect.
Okay.
So it is true that Pamela Anderson in recent years has opted for either very simplified makeup or no makeup at all on red carpets, which is a controversial decision, even though I feel like it shouldn't be. But you have thoughts.
No, my thought is simply, if you make it a brand for yourself, if you start to turn something like that into a cause. Look, if you want to record your Instagram lives or your social media posts without makeup at home, right? Mm-hmm. That makes perfect sense to me. But intentionally going into a situation where everybody puts makeup on and gets dressed up and choosing not to do that invites criticism because you're breaking from the mold. You don't get to have all of the positive things said about your brave stance against age, the criticization of women in aging, and not get any of the pushback. That's all I'm saying, is that you made it your thing. Now that it's your thing, you get both the good and the bad. All of the positively radiant articles that talk about it should be enough to keep her warm at night. And the few that call it out and are maybe mean, and these articles were mean-spirited, don't get me wrong, it certainly was not done in a kind or a polite way. I would hope that you get some semblance of proportion. Look, a lot of people have a lot of nice things to say about me. A lot of people have taken to this topic now so that we can, what do they always say? We need to start a discussion. Start a discussion about, in this case, I guess it's women in aging. You've now started a discussion. Now you take the good and you deal with the crappy ones. That doesn't mean that this headline was in any way nice. It was very rude.
Well, to be fair to Pamela Anderson, she hasn't personally responded to any of the discourse. Yeah. So what are you exactly clapping back at?
No, I'm not clapping back at her. I'm clapping back at the people who are coming to her defense.
Okay.
That the people talking about, we need to let women age gracefully. Well, she's doing that. Okay. But she's also made it part of her brand. So people are going to have a discussion. It's not always going to be a discussion she likes.
Well, I guess the point that they're trying to make is that her not wearing extreme amounts of makeup on a red carpet shouldn't be a thing in the first place. It doesn't need to be the subject of academic debate. But I almost want to push back on that point of view as well, because makeup and hair and jewelry and all the rest of these accoutrements are part of fashion as well. And it's almost like showing up to the red carpet wearing a t-shirt and jeans when you know that it doesn't befit the occasion. It doesn't fit the expected dress code.
Yeah.
One of the biggest mistakes she made was wearing this weird-ass haircut. Microbangs don't look good on anyone, no matter how old you are, but they especially are not flattering to a woman of her age.
Remember the picture of Courtney Cox in Scream 3 with the awful bangs?
No microbangs, never microbangs. The answer is never microbangs for anyone. They look bad on literally everyone. There are some people who can maybe pull it off, but it never makes you look better than you did before the microbangs. So that was her first mistake. I don't think that the dress looked good either. She looks like a Christmas tree from the 1960s.
She does.
The dress was a miss. I feel like if she styled her hair right and she had an outfit that didn't look so ridiculous, no one would have said anything. Maybe a few people, but it wouldn't have been as loud.
I have no opinions on what she's wearing because I don't know. She looks like she gathered a bunch of gemstones on a beach and then plastered them all over her dress.
It was actually recycled diamonds, you said. I didn't know that. Yeah. But, the problem here is kind of everything surrounding her face. Because otherwise, any of us would be lucky to age as gracefully as Pamela Anderson has. She looks incredible for her age. That's just an objective fact. Indisputable. So, personally, I would love to look like Pamela Anderson at 57.
They actually wrote an article about Courtney Cox's hair in Scream 3. That's how bad it was.
Was it that famously bad?
Yeah.
It is really bad, isn't it?
If you ever feel like crap, just remember Courtney Cox's hair in Scream 3.
Microbangs can make anyone look ugly.
David Arquette, that was her husband, says she takes full responsibility for her hairdo. It was his fault.
So this wasn't even for her character?
It was her. I mean, it was her. They were both in that movie together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They met on... So, from what I understand, they met on Scream 1, got married before Scream 2, and then were divorced when Scream 3 or Scream 4 came out. Or something in that realm there. I'm getting the dates wrong there. But, yeah, they were married for a long time.
To get microbangs for a role is quite a commitment to your
She's
craft.
like, look, I like you, Wes, but even a Wes Craven horror movie does not denote microbangs.
I do think that Pamela Anderson, if she's making a statement at all, it's a good statement, and it's that you don't need to inject your face with corpse fat, botulism, or any other insane toxic substances to try and fail to look young forever.
I feel like
it's
for her,
an empty pursuit.
I feel like for her, given the fact that she was such a significant image of what American culture considered beauty in the 90s, that I'll give her this, which is like, you were held in such high regard for your beauty that taking a stand against aging almost makes sense, I guess, because otherwise it would just be people kind of judging her for not being able to look 20 forever.
Like, oh, this is so desperate.
Yeah.
She's so full of Botox, da-da-da.
I get the impulse to kind of find a way to push back in your own way. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.